good, kitty. So today we're going to be doing a Get Ready With Me life and health update for over 50. I'm going to be using mostly drugstore makeup and some of my favorite products, so in case you're interested, then keep on watching. Hey guys, it's Kat and welcome to my channel. Yeah, I maybe do Get Readies with me once a month. I mean, I live the most boring life, let me tell you, but you know, I just wanted to sit down and hang out with you today and tell you what's going on in my life, give you a health update, give you a life update, kitty update? I don't know. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the video. How you doing? Okay, I don't know what's going on with my hair, but pardon me, it's acting a little crazy. I asked you on my community page as well as on Instagram, what did you want to see next? And I gave you the option of Get Ready With Me, life health update, or a hair tutorial. Well, clearly, Get Ready With Me won by overwhelming response, but don't worry, I will be happy to do a hair tutorial. It's actually super easy. How have you guys been? I'm gonna be honest with you, I've been kind of depressed. Not depressed in the sense where, you know, I'm sad, I don't find joy in anything, just kind of like a low-key depressed, but denial is not just a river. For some of you who don't know, my mom had passed away 2 months ago. I mean, she was 95 years old. She led a long, beautiful life. And, you know, my dad had passed away 9 years before. So, you know, that was really tough to handle. So dealing with that for the last couple of months hasn't been easy, but I allowed myself to feel. Usually when I suffer a great loss, like my dad dying or my mom dying, I tend to make myself so frantic and busy so I don't have to think about anything, whether it's work or family life or cleaning or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to stop to feel, but I've allowed myself this time to stop and feel what I'm going through, how I'm feeling, recognize it. And by no means, I am not a licensed clinical social worker or a therapist. I'm just sitting here sharing my thoughts with you and how I've been dealing with such a huge loss. You know what? To me, losing a parent is devastating, but for some reason, losing your mom is even more heartbreaking. It really is, because she birthed you. And it's interesting because I finally got to hang out with some of my really good friends to have dinner. We had been planning this dinner for 3 months. I swear these days it takes an act of Congress to get together with your friends. It really is. It's like, wow, life is too short. You know, so-and-so can't make it because of this engagement, or she can't make it because she's busy. It's just sad how our lives have been so chaotic and so busy that we don't take time out to have relationships with our friends. It's so important, especially when you're going through something tough, that you have time with your friends just to relate, just to talk. I think it's just a great way of sharing and getting your emotions out. There was a lot of laughing and giggling and tears, and you know, it's making that connection. I think a lot of us really need it, but we don't realize we need it until we actually do it. So I had a great time with my girlfriends, and you know, I went up to Nashville a couple of weeks ago to see my friend Lisa, and I'm telling you, the drive alone was so therapeutic. I played the music super loud, and I found this 80s radio station, and it was just fun for me. I was on my own. I was in my own thoughts, driving, seeing the beautiful landscape of Tennessee. It was just such a great experience, and it was an experience I didn't know I needed. Does that make sense? It's like sometimes I just get so stuck in a rut. Boy, that rhymed. And I never realize it. I just don't see it until I get out of that situation. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I do feel like I need to talk to somebody about my emotions and like what I'm going through, because, you know, there's 5 stages of grief, and I'm definitely in the stage of denial. It's been tough. It really has. But through the support of my family and my friends, it has made it easier. But I do have my off days. But there are those days where I feel like I need to speak with somebody just to sort out my head. My head it's in a pretzel. It really is. One moment I feel okay, the next minute I'm blah. I have made arrangements to talk to a therapist, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. Have you guys ever been to a therapist? I don't know. I went 20 years ago to to get some therapy, and it was just not a pleasant experience. It was actually a very negative experience. I felt like my therapist was totally not supportive, and I hadn't gone back in 20 years. So I'm hoping that this will help in my grieving process. But in the meantime, I'm still doing great for what's going on. I still have a daughter to raise. I still have a husband. I still have a lot going on. I still have a full-time job. I have a channel. I have a YouTube channel and things going on behind the scenes with my channel, like doing, little collaborations and little things. But, this is by far one of the best concealers. So I do lead a very, very busy life. And sometimes I just need to slow down. That whole cliche, stop and smell the roses. It's so true. It really is. And I feel like a lot of us have gotten away from that. And I'm guilty of this too. I spend far too much time on my cell phone. Oh my gosh, it's really sad. I mean, we are a generation where we played outside. We spoke on a regular landline. And you know what? To me, that was such a simpler time, and we had better connections back then. Our friendships were really strong, but in today's technology, it's like, I'll just give them a text. I mean, how often do you call somebody? Be honest, how often do you actually call somebody? But you go, well, I'm not gonna call them, I'm just gonna text them. Be like, hey, it's quicker and easy. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Ha 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 ha. Don't knock technology. Don't think for 1 second that I don't appreciate it for 1 minute. But it really has, gotten to the point with communication, and we're just gonna send a text message. Let's just do that. And it's just so different than the way we grew up in the 80s. It just, I don't know, kind of makes me sad. I mean, it starts with you, right? It starts with you reaching out to somebody. If you're hurting, or if you're lonely, or even if you want to share something fun or talk to your friend, just do it. Just call them, Other than that, I hope this isn't too heavy. I hope it's not sad, because I'm not sad. Definitely not sad. I've just been going through things, and it's funny because the older I get, I thought I would get a better handle on life. Oh, heck no. Are you kidding me? I feel like I did in my 20s and my 30s with a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more, I'm not going to even say wisdom, but a little bit more life experience. But man, I am learning every single day something new about something new about myself, something new about raising a child, something new about marriage and friendships. It's insane, and you have to be open to those experiences, in my opinion. I really do, because you might miss something, I think that's why, and this is weird, I had an artistic director, and ballet story, sorry. I had an artistic director who I absolutely loved. He was a couple years older than me, and by the time you're 30 years old, I know, right? By the time you're 30 years old as a ballet dancer, you're old. You are old. I know, it's shocking. Heck, I'm 56. I still feel pretty young. But what he said about me was really interesting. He said, even though Catherine is 30 years old, she's still hungry to learn. And I thought that was like, okay, first you're telling me that I'm old. Secondly, it was kind of like a compliment and then a put down. I don't know. Take it for what you will. But it was interesting to me that he characterized me as, even though she's this old, she still wants to learn and wants to improve. And I think that's just a daily thing in my life, is just constantly learning about something. So there's that. I mean, yeah, that whole age stigma, it's true. I mean, imagine being called old at the age of 30. Isn't that ridiculous? Let's talk about what's going on in the house. Hondo, as you know, was a rescue dog that we adopted back in February from an organization called Paw and a Prayer. They do rescues. They rescue puppies from puppy mills, and anybody that wants to give up their dog, it's kind of sad. They go to this woman that runs this organization. She's fantastic. But anyway, we adopted Hondo, and one of the prerequisites is when you adopt one of their dogs, you have to get them fixed, or they will get the pet fixed for you. Spayed or neuter, it's on them, which is great, because a lot of us, if we adopt an animal, we're going to have to pay and foot the bill ourselves. So when we adopted Hondo, We wanted to let him grow to his maximum potential. And they're like, well, if you're going to wait that long, because we adopted him and he was 6 months old. They told us, if you're going to wait that long and fix him when he's a year old, then we're not going to pay for it. We're like, you know what? No problem. You know, he's our baby. We promise. Oh gosh, which reminds me, I need to tell them. I need to reach out to them and let them know that Hondo got fixed. And I always get confused. Is it spayed for a male dog or neutered for a male dog? Anyway, he got fixed this week. When he went in for his first checkup, can I say this? He only had one, you know, one. And our vet, who we love, said, well, it could be waiting to drop, you know what I'm saying? Or it could be stuck up there. And we were mortified. We were like, oh my gosh. Because, you know, if you don't fix that, if you don't remove the hidden ball, it could become cancerous. So us being, you know, fur baby parents, we decided get that thing out, because we don't want our dog to get cancer. You know, he's one of our babies. He goes in for surgery, and they're fantastic at this vet clinic. Let me tell you, they contacted us, they told us what was going on, they held our hand pretty much every step of the way, and they sent us pictures, you know, after, you know, post surgery. Poor Hondo. And I missed him so much. He spent the night at the vet clinic that night, and it was just, I know, I have 4 dogs, but when one is missing, it completely affects the entire pack. It affects the entire household. It's like, where's that annoying puppy? The vet had contacted me right after surgery, which, you know, I was nervous. I was very nervous. And he told me that Hondo did great, that he's resting comfortably, and yeah, so he's gonna stay overnight and we can pick him up first thing in the morning. Ooh, I love this blush. Then he proceeds to tell me what he did, what the surgery entailed. Well, he wasn't born with just one ball. He had 2. The other one was in his belly. So they had to make an incision to open him up, basically like doing like a female spay neuter. God, I can't remember which is which. I always have to Google it. Anyway, he said usually it's difficult to find it. He said it popped up like an Easter egg out of his belly. So he's like, well, that was easy. He just plucked it out and sewed him back up. And I had no idea how they do neuterings and spayings now. They do it with a laser. Did you know that? So obviously, with all this high technology, here you are, that word again, high technology of just a simple spay or neuter, well, no, like I said, I'm not sure which is which. It's gonna be more expensive. I almost fell out when I found out how much it was going to cost. But then when I got the final bill, I fell out. To get a dog fixed, especially in our dog's condition with the, you know, ball missing up in the tummy, $1,000. $1,000. So yeah, got the vet bill, had one of those moments, but you know what? I feel good that he got excellent care, post-op care, all that, and he's home, he's resting comfortably. He did not have to wear one of those shameful cones. He's just a gift. He really is. I'm so happy we adopted him. You know, I mean, who needs 4 dogs? Apparently, we do. Anyway, so that was this week. We had Hondo fixed. He came through with flying colors. He's back to his normal puppy self, and life is good in our home. And you know what? I don't even know what kind of look I'm coming up with today. Probably just an easy fall look. Fall is definitely in the air. Doing a fall-inspired look. I know one of you guys commented on my community page, why don't you do a fall-inspired look with drugstore makeup? Yeah, most of this is drugstore makeup. I do have to admit though, I know this is very, very pricey. Just absolutely loving the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette. I knew when I reviewed it, it was just gonna stay on my vanity table and I was just gonna reach for it every day. And to me, it's worth it. It really is. If you're looking for a good nude eyeshadow palette for the fall, this is just such a beautiful color story. It's cool tones. And I think on a warm complexion, cool tones pop more. I think that's why I like it. With that in mind, I'm gonna go in with a cream eyeshadow, which I really love. And it's just the new one, the Solo Shadows from Merit Beauty in the shade Broom. But yeah, I just wanna do a really simple smoky eye today. Just gonna warm this up. Matt's doing well, you know. Marriage is tough, man. I swear. You'd think the longer you're married, you know that person better. But apparently Mercury's been in retrograde, and I think it just ended on the 15th. And I don't know if I believe in all that hokey pokey stuff. I really don't. But man, people have been acting so strange. I am not kidding. Including my husband, including myself. People's behavior just gets all freaky. Like you're supposed to expect more traffic and more traffic accidents. I mean, this is what I Googled yesterday. I know. I'm so curious about that. Don't sign any contracts during Mercury in retrograde. I mean, this is crazy stuff. Don't make any huge decisions while Mercury's in retrograde. It's just weird. Like I said, I don't believe in that stuff, but yeah, some weird stuff has been happening. This dries down fast. I need to work quickly on this. So yesterday I take, every morning I take Ava to the bus stop. It's like literally half a mile down the road, and I don't like her walking at 6 a.m. in the morning. It's pitch black, even though we live in a really safe neighborhood. I don't want her walking in darkness to the bus stop. You got crazy drivers that are rushing to get to work. So I'm pulling out of our driveway, pitch black, and across the street, there's a fire hydrant, literally right across the street from our house, from our front yard. There is a fire hydrant and a light post. So there's light shining down. It's not complete blackness because, that's street light. And I'm pulling down out of the driveway and I see a man, standing by the fire hydrant. And I'm like, I know I've had a little bit of coffee, but what? Am I seeing this? He had no shirt on, for starters. And it looked like he was pooping. His jeans were pulled down. I'm not kidding. His jeans were pulled down, and as I was backing out of the driveway, he was pulling his pants up. And I had to ask Ava, are you seeing this? Like, I really thought I was hallucinating, dreaming. Mercury in retrograde, guys. I don't know what was going on. So as I'm driving down the street, I'm looking in my rear view mirror, watching this guy. He did not move. He didn't walk away, nothing. And I was like, dude, I don't want this guy back when I come back after dropping Ava off at the bus stop. So once I got to the bus stop, I texted Matt and I said, if you look outside right now, there is a sketchy guy that I think he's taking a dump right in front of our front yard. So Matt got the text message. Keep in mind, it is 6:15 a.m. in the morning. Still pitch black. The sun doesn't come up for another hour. So then I was getting all paranoid when I got back. I leave my garage door open so I can just easily pop back into the garage because, I'm only gone for like 5 minutes. I'm just going down the street. So then I'm all freaking paranoid that this weirdo guy, I don't know, what if he snuck into my garage? I don't know. Really crazy. So when I got home, I asked Matt, I said, hey, did you see that guy? And he goes, no, I didn't see a guy, but I opened up the front door and I yelled, get out of our yard. Now, he wasn't in our yard, but, he was right across the street. I don't know what to say about that. I just thought it was the weirdest thing. Some guys think I could poop across the street. Oh, don't take offense to this. It's not like we live in like a downtown area with apartment complexes and buildings and everything, like just rando people walking around taking poops. No, this is a quiet suburban neighborhood. So yeah, there you have it. Mercury in retrograde. All right, so same morning, which was just yesterday, we have these big windows in front of our living room. You probably see them at the end of most of my videos where I show Norm, snoozing by the front window. As I was walking through the living room to go back to my office to go back to work, because I work from home, I saw a flash of beige. And I was like, that's way too fast for a car. And it just kind of, what? Am I seeing things? I just saw a guy pooping earlier. So what was this? So I walked up to the living room window. I peek outside. No, it wasn't a man pooping. It was a deer, a female deer. Doe, a deer. Yeah. And it's so interesting because, like I said, we just live in a suburban neighborhood. We have woods behind my house, behind our house. We have woods. And this deer was hanging out in my front yard. looking at me, hey, how's it going? And we, like I said, every year we see this family of deer, the mama deer and her 3 babies. One year I saw them just walking down the street, like just walking down the street. The next year we saw them running down the street, like galloping. This year she hung out, she hung out in my front yard. Hold on, I'm just gonna yell, oh, I hope the eyeliner gods are with me today. Oh, I messed up. That was a great part of my morning. My faith in humanity was restored by that deer. Thank you, Miss Deer. Maybe I should call her Dolly the Deer. So yeah, I tried to film her, but in that moment of excitement, it just, technology. That was a good moment. It was such a good moment seeing that female deer. And then she bolted off. And where did she run? She ran behind the back of our house. That was a very interesting morning, to say the very least. You never know. You never know what's going to happen in your day. And as mundane as my life is, working from home, being home 24/7, there's always something going on. And it's not like I live in a big, metropolitan area. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, for Pete's sake. I need a mascara. What did you do with my mascara? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Telescopic Lift mascara. I used to poke myself in the eye with this every time, but it's actually a really good mascara. I'm a naturally optimistic person. I really am. I really, really am. I always try to see the good in people. I always try to see the good in every situation. I have my days where I definitely get negative and pessimistic, but for all intents and purposes, I'm a happy-go-lucky girl. And, after suffering a big loss in our family, I have to see the positive side of it. A lot of people were telling me while, at the funeral, at the visitation, during the mass and everything, they said, oh, you have your memories of your mom to keep you happy forever, and no one can take that away from you. And you know what? They're absolutely right. Another positive thing that came out of her death is my relationship with Ava. It has actually improved. She's going through that teenage time of angsty, I don't want to come out of my room, and it's not fun, it's like, Ava, get out of your room. Ava, clean your room. Ava, do this, do that. And she's just like, but the positive thing that I've seen after my mom has passed, she's gotten more open, more intuitive. She's been more caring to me. I'm very, very lucky. You have no idea. I'm so blessed. She has come out of her shell. She's so caring. She's worried about me. Not worried. Worried is a strong word, but she's more concerned, and she is not that angsty teenager where she's like, oh, mom. She's really blossoming, and I think that is the one positive thing that I can carry away from my mom's passing, is that Ava's really opened up and our relationship has gotten stronger. Life is too short to be sad. Life is too short to be miserable and hold grudges, I've always felt that way. Oh, yeah. This is great. The NYX Smooth Whip Matte Lip Cream. This is actually very pretty. Ooh. I know, this is a completely matte look. I didn't even use any shimmer eyeshadow. I just used that Merit cream shadow. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of highlighter right through there. Just a little bit. Yeah, I know, I haven't worn highlighter in forever. Yeah, if you're curious about any of the products that I've used today in today's Get Ready With Me, I'll be sure to put all the products in the links below. I made sure a lot of them were drugstore, and some of them were my absolute faves, especially the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. This is my #1 out of my favorite skin tints for mature skin. But here we are with the final look. What do you think? Yeah, this is mostly a matte look. It's very, fall inspired. I love the really neutral earth tones that I used on the eyes. I think, the blush looks really complimentary to it. And the lipstick is the final touch. A nice matte lipstick. But yeah, so that's where we are in terms of my life and health update. My health is actually doing pretty well. I feel pretty healthy. Been taking vitamins and drinking more water and trying to eat a healthy diet. I know it's so rough these days. It's so hard, but I wanted to focus on mental health, especially since, the loss that I've been through, and we all go through it. We all deal with it differently. I'm not here to tell you how to handle your grief or your loss or your mental health issues, but it is super important to be aware of how you're feeling. And if something's amiss and, reaching out to a friend is not going to help, maybe perhaps seek, someone who's non-biased, who doesn't know you, that can help sort your feelings out. And I'm looking forward to it. Is that all? Is that all, Catherine? I think that's all. Mercury in retrograde. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me with this very long Get Ready With Me talking about health and life. Let me know down in the comments if something really strange happened to you in like the last several weeks while we were in Mercury Retrograde. I'm telling you what, my eyes are scarred from seeing that. Oh, but then the deer helped, little deer running across my front yard. I love nature. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I had fun. I hope you did too. I kind of rambled. And if you enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing. I would love it if you'd be a part of our family. So, mahal kita. I love you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.